Normally, when you think of childhood, you probably remember moments of laughter, joy, and hula hooping with your friends. But that isn't what it looks like for most children today anymore. Right now, we're going live with 7th grader Brumjot Sani to tell us about her experience growing up with social media.
Welcome back to Hidden Heroes.
Good morning, Brumjot. Could you please introduce yourself for us and describe your earliest memory using social media?
Good morning, my name is Brum and I'm in 7th grade. I'm here to speak about how my devices affected me as I grew into who I am now. I believe I was around 7 years old when I first actually started using social media, and I began using it during quarantine of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I think that's kind of how I started to look at it more often. During quarantine, we had no choice but to stay inside our homes, causing me to be more deprived of social interaction, and I resorted to my devices. I first started using apps like Roblox or YouTube, and I think that YouTube definitely affected me the most due to the variety of content on it, exposing me to kind of things that I didn't need to see at my age.
Could you please provide some insight into what kind of things you're referring to?
I guess since there weren't really many restrictions on the apps and I was looking at, or anything to kind of filter out content that wasn't meant for kids. I saw a lot of content involving profanity, politics, relationships, and encounters that just weren't meant for people at my age.
So could you talk about how social media influenced your interactions with your family and friends during your childhood, if at all?
So I feel as if social media made me more withdrawn from those around me. I was more focused on the screen in front of me than my surroundings, causing me to speak less with others. Although I feel as if it helped with my interactions with friends because my friends were also on social media and we were able to bond and speak of what we had been seeing online.
So, Brumjot, do you feel any pressure to present yourself in a certain way due to social media? How do you think that affected you?
So I think that social media also influenced not only me, but also the behavior of my peers and those in my surroundings. Others were also watching social media, speaking of it and making jokes about it. I had to look at the internet so that I could act the same way and keep track with it. Just to ensure that I would be liked and not excluded in school, I had to keep track of what was popular online. Furthermore, when I was on social media, I saw people who acted in specific ways. I believe this caused me to try and act similarly to them.
How did social media affect your self-esteem and body image growing up?
So when I went online, I often saw people who looked better looking than me or prettier or skinnier, and I think that this just led me to feel ugly or in a way fat, as all the people I saw on my devices were very attractive. This led me to believe that I was worse in terms of appearance, which I think was very problematic for me as I grew up.
So looking back, do you feel like social media took away from your childhood experiences at all?
So I do think that it took away from my experiences as it distracted me from doing what a kid should have been. Instead of spending my whole day on a screen, I should have been drawing or playing with toys. Social media caused me to become more detached from those hobbies and activities. It caused me to mature faster rather than being a kid.
So you mentioned kind of getting detached from hobbies and activities. What hobbies and activities do you think you kind of had to sacrifice to the time that you spend on social media?
So I did enjoy drawing and art as a whole. I was very talented at it, and I still am. I just don't do it as much. I used to play piano. I'm not as skilled at it anymore due to, as close as you know, but yeah, and I danced a little bit, not a lot. I did karate. I did do karate. I went to class for it. I don't think there's anything else.
What steps are you taking to provide assistance to yourself and others to protect yourselves from the negative aspect of social media?
So I was elected as the representative of my grade in my school student council in 5th and 6th grade. In my 2 years in office, I have ensured to set an example for my peers that inspire them to participate in more face-to-face interaction than online. Furthermore, by coming on this podcast, I think I'm taking a step by sharing my experiences and putting out my message to others.
Can you define your exact message for our viewers?
So my message is that it's unrealistic for us to let go entirely of social media, and I don't think we really should. But it has a lot of benefits. But I want to put it out there that the youth and young children are still experiencing great detriments from it as well. And we need to make an effort to change that as time goes on.
Thank you so much for coming on our podcast today, Brahmjot. We really appreciate your appearance here, and we will do our best to usher your message out into the world.
Thank you.